Everyone thought the letters were just a cruel prank. They were terribly, terribly wrong. In the quiet, unassuming town of Circleville, Ohio, a sinister game began. It was a game played with poison pen letters, whispered accusations, and the slow, insidious erosion of trust. What started as an annoyance quickly escalated, tearing lives apart and ultimately leading to a death that remains shrouded in suspicion. The year was 1976. The targets were numerous, but the initial focus landed squarely on Mary Gillespie, a bus driver for the local school district. The letters accused her of an illicit affair with the school superintendent, Gordon Massey. These weren't just petty rumors. They were detailed, aggressive, and delivered directly to her home, her husband, and even Massey's wife. Imagine receiving a letter, typewritten, accusing you of something deeply personal and potentially ruinous. Now imagine those letters multiplying, sent to your family, your neighbors, your employers. The psychological toll must have been immense, a constant, gnawing anxiety, wondering who knew, who believed, and who would be next. Mary Gillespie and Gordon Massey vehemently denied the allegations. But the letters kept coming. They were sent through the mail, some even dropped off directly at homes. The writer, or writers, seemed to know intimate details of the townspeople's lives, creating a pervasive sense of paranoia. Mary's husband, Ron Gillespie, a former Circleville police officer, was particularly enraged. He was a man with a strong sense of justice, and this anonymous torment was tearing his family apart. He decided to take matters into his own hands, determined to unmask the cowardly individual behind the threats. On August 19, 1977, Ron Gillespie received a phone call from the alleged letter writer. He was told to go to a specific location to confront them. Ron, armed with a gun, drove off. What happened next would forever alter the course of the Circleville mystery. Hours later, Ron's pickup truck was found wrecked against a tree. He was dead from a single gunshot wound to the head. The official ruling was suicide. But those close to Ron, and indeed many in Circleville, found this explanation deeply unsatisfying. How could a man so determined to find his tormentor suddenly take his own life? The discovery of his gun, unfired, several feet from his body, only fueled the suspicions. Was Ron Gillespie murdered? And if so, was his death directly linked to the anonymous letters? The questions hung heavy in the air, thick with the silence of an unresolved tragedy. Even after Ron's death, the letters didn't stop. They continued to plague Mary Gillespie, now taunting her about her husband's death. The audacity of the writer was chilling, a clear sign that Ron's demise had not deterred them. If anything, it had emboldened them. Then a strange discovery was made. Mary Gillespie found a handwritten sign nailed to a fence post on her bus route. It was a direct message from the letter writer. She pulled it down, believing she had a crucial piece of evidence. The handwriting on the sign seemed to match a previous letter. Mary believed she recognized it as the handwriting of Paul Fresher, her brother-in-law, Ron's brother-in-law. Fresher had been one of the first to receive letters accusing Mary and Massey. Based on this and other circumstantial evidence, including a unique type of paper found at Fresher's home that matched the letters, Paul Fresher was arrested. He was charged not with murder, but with attempted murder for sending threatening letters to Gordon Massey and with obstructing justice. In 1983, Paul Fresher was convicted and sentenced to 7 to 25 years in prison. The community breathed a collective sigh of relief. The Circleville letter writer had been caught, or so everyone thought. While Fresher was behind bars, the letters continued. Mary Gillespie received more letters, some bearing postmarks from nearby towns, others from within the prison itself, directly addressed to Paul Fresher. This twist sent shockwaves through the investigation. How could the Circleville letter writer still be active if the supposed culprit was locked away? This new development threw the entire conviction into question. Was Fresher innocent? Or did he have an accomplice on the outside or even inside the prison? Fresher maintained his innocence throughout his incarceration. He claimed he was framed, a convenient scapegoat for a deeper, more complex conspiracy. He even passed a polygraph test regarding his involvement with the letters and Ron's death, though polygraphs are not admissible in court. He was eventually released on parole in 1994, having served 10 years. He never recanted his story, continuing to assert that the true Circleville letter writer was still at large, a ghost in the shadows of Ohio. The mystery of the Circleville letters has captivated true crime enthusiasts for decades. Was Ron Gillespie's death a suicide, a tragic accident, or a cold-blooded murder orchestrated by the anonymous writer? The evidence remains fragmented, the answers elusive. The theories are plentiful. Some believe Paul Fresher was indeed the writer, perhaps with help, or that he was simply a copycat. Others point to a wider network of individuals, a small-town conspiracy fueled by jealousy and resentment. The truth may lie buried in the past, hidden among the silent cornfields of Circleville. What is certain is that a campaign of terror, fueled by words on paper, shattered lives and left a husband dead, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions. The Circleville letter writer case serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of anonymous threats and the lasting scars they leave. It's a story of a community gripped by fear, a family torn apart, and a murderer who may have walked free, never truly held accountable. Even today, the case remains officially unsolved. Ron Gillespie's death never definitively attributed to foul play, and the true identity of the letter writer still a subject of intense speculation.